she'd hide under the bed and wait for them to come in at night, and then she'd grab their legs under this. And Aunt May said every single time they fell for it. She always she'd grab their legs, and of course then they scream and holler and ki-yi, and something was under the bed.
And was that where the house where the turkeys were?
The house where the turkeys were Grandpa Price is out going out to the island, right across from.
Yeah, is that where Aunt Grace would scare people?
No, this is when they lived in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
When they were out on the.
When they were kids.
When they were kids, yes. And then she would scare us. Aunt Florence was the one that lived back east.
Yep.
Oh, there's a picture of her. She's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. I always thought she was an Indian because of her coloring and stuff. She's beautiful.
Well, do you remember when you did your 23andMe? Or you guys got to have some. I mean, she was your relative, so was there any?
I didn't come across any of her stuff yet. I don't know that I've done it 23andMe correctly.
Oh.
So anyway, she was 16 when she married Uncle Jake. Like I said, she's a little bit wild. He was in the service. But she was fun. Like I said, Aunt Grace, when she got that old fur coat, and she would go down behind their house. Their house set kind of on a level, like the slope down in the backyard. And the outhouse was straight out, and the chickens were the chicken pen was down and to the left, and then there was a path that kind of went out this way. That's where she'd go hide
in her fur coat,
and then come up and it scares to death.
And how old were you, do you think?
Well, Gary and I were we got to go spend a night, and we were probably 9, 10, and that was the day that she had a little one of her cats had a litter of kittens. And then this is awful, but she came and she said, "Oh," she says, "I have the sad news." She said, "I have a little mama cat, and she had these babies, and just little bitty babies, and they're not gonna make it. So we don't want them to die and go to heaven slowly. So we're gonna put those little bitty babies to sleep now." And so she went down. She filled a bucket of water. She had a bag, you know the old bags for potatoes. And stuff.
Yeah.
And so she put the itty bitty babies in there, and we got to play with them, pet them, and then we said prayers for them and stuff. And we put them in that bag, and she lowered the bag into the big bucket, and the little bitty babies went to heaven.
So she did that?
Yeah.
She euthanized the kitties.
Yes.
What?
Well, because they couldn't have a whole bunch of cats. Remember, she grew up on a farm.
Oh my God. That's awful.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I thought this story had a happy ending.
No, it didn't.
Well, that was the precursor to the Stephen King Pet Cemetery. Jeez.
But I suppose they did that. You could only raise so many animals.
I know, but there's probably like mice and stuff they could have.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Okay.
But we'd love to go to Aunt Grace.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
You never knew
what was going to happen. Oh, I assume you never did that. You never, when you went show and tell, you never.
I never did.
You never told that story.
No, I was bright enough that I knew things I should say and things I shouldn't. So I'm sure people would be appalled.
Oh, all right.
Grace is not very tall,
Yes.
She's like Mom's height, Grandma's height.
Okay.
And she worked out at the Greens
Right.
place in Shelton. you know, and she'd go pick brush. She'd pick brush. That's how she made money. And she made hands.
Right.
And she sold them.
Okay.
You know.
We'll end this story time. This is
Okay.
story number 3 with Nana Peg.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Until next time, Vincent Price's Mystery Theater.
Well, you know, I have an Uncle Vincent. Right?
I know, and obviously you had an
It's a different part of the day.
Aunt Grace Kevorkian.